Morning, my productivity patriots. Aidan Parker here from My Safety Manager with your Monday morning safety brief. Let's come out swinging. 90-day payment terms on construction contracts. It needs to stop. It needs to stop now. It's actually not even supported by legislation. So if we look at Section 10 of the Construction Contracts Act 2004, it clearly stipulates, let's have a look here, get it verbatim, Section 10, prohibited provisions requiring payment to be made after 50 days. Is to be read as being amended to require the payment to be made within 50 days after it is claimed. So don't believe the hype, don't get hustled, don't get pushed into these 90-day terms. And look, even if you do, then you've got recourse anyways. So if you're bound up in that sort of situation, go and talk to your contracts manager, go and talk to your legal representation, your in-house counsel, whomever, and go and get an arbitration so you can get your dollars and continue to run your business, because like anything, without cash flow, it stops dead. And it'll impact our SMEs before it impacts the big end of town. So, I mean, the frustration for this for me is, a number of my friends are small to medium-sized enterprises in the construction industry. Many of my clients are, and they're bankrolling projects for principal contractors and clients, and the overdrafts are going onto their own personal mortgages. And you think, oh my goodness, it's not for the Australian public, it's not for the Australian mums and dads to be bankrolling construction projects in this country. There is enough money in it for them to be paid on time in a way that's kind of fair and equitable. Now, I'm going to stop short of suggesting that there's a bunch of fat cats sitting at the big end of town, sitting around a boardroom table, pinching their chubby flanks and chortling about the extra few dollars that they're getting in their money markets overnight. But what I will concede is I don't understand what's motivating the 90-day terms. I can't see that it has a good this is a good long game, because essentially if you send your SMEs broke, you can't fight a war without soldiers. And if you send everybody broke in the meantime, it'll come and bite you in your critical path and whatnot as people become insolvent, on the 80th day, because they can no longer afford to they can't even pay their workforce, so they can't buy the materials for the project that they've said that they will build for you. So, it will all come full circle. I don't know what's motivating it, but, I'm happy for people to reach out to me and explain it to me. I don't get it. So you might ask, what has this got to do with safety? So perhaps you think this is a long bow to draw, but here's what I do know. So the awareness around mental health, particularly in the construction industry, is improving, and clients and principal contractors are jumping on board with, they're responding to it with initiatives, employee assistance programs, health and wellness checks and initiatives and whatnot, which is really great, but I spy an inconsistency. I mean, let's face it, financial hardships, financial hardships cause often crippling anxiety. They do. And so let's look at what other mental health impacts that may have. So there was big shout out to mates in construction. They're doing fantastic work. They're looking at fatalities or suicide in the construction industry, and going from their stats, 42 fatalities in 2012, 107 reports of self-harm, and over 500 instances where people have injured themselves to the point of being off work. They estimated the cost of construction suicide to the WA government to be about $500 million a year, running on averages and estimates. So obviously a pretty sorry state of affairs. So here's what I know. If you're being hustled and you're an SME, get help. You may be hungry for the work, but remember, you can go broke working your guts out on a contract you bought just as fast, probably faster than you can lying on the beach enjoying the sunshine. I'm not saying be slack, I'm saying don't be hustled. And if you're writing these, on the other end of, at the other end of the spectrum, if you're writing these contracts, you need to keep this form of fiscal sadism to yourself and well away from Australian SMEs. The job is hard enough without having to stump up your own cash and half your house just to be able to get considered for the job. Here's what else I know. We are all in this together. It's high time for all stakeholders across the construction industry to get in the same boat and row as a team, because the way it's going at the moment, we cannot afford to build anything, and we're sending everybody bankrupt in the process. That's it for me this week. I hope you've enjoyed I hope you continue to enjoy these Monday morning safety briefs. If I've missed anything, or if there's a method to the madness and I'm completely ignorant, then certainly reach out and tell me. I'd love to be educated on this, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other SMEs that would love that as well. If you are struggling with this as well from an SME side, talk to your legal team. If you don't have anybody, get in touch with me. I'm not a lawyer, and I will not, and I don't do anything in this space, but I do know a number of good lawyers that I know that I would go to hands down straight away if I was having issues in this area, and I'm happy to put you in contact with them. Stay safe. Have a great week. Talk to you next week. Cheers.